Hello dear students, welcome back again to Chinmoyee's biology channel. So today we are here with a brand new episode of coal and petroleum. So we all know that these are all fossil fuels, but we are going to discuss in details in this lesson about coal and petroleum. So this is a lesson of CBSE class 8 science. So those who are CBSE students, please follow my channel which I am in, where I am posting all your lessons as per your curriculum. So let's get started with this today's episode of coal and petroleum. So what are the learning objectives of today's lesson? So at the end of this lesson, we will be knowing the different types of fossil fuel. We will classify fossil fuel as coal, petroleum and natural gas. We will know the formation and composition of the coal and petroleum. We will try to explain the extraction process and the refining process of petroleum. So today we are going to discuss this 4 topics, and in the next class, in the next episode, I'll be discussing about petrochemicals, conservation of fossil fuels, harmful effects of excessive use of fossil fuels. So if you are liking my channel, I would request you to please subscribe my channel, as it will motivate me and it will help me to make my content more better, and I will be giving more effort to make your lessons more interesting and more helpful for your daily studying. Okay. So stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and let's get started with today's episode of coal and petroleum. Now we have come directly to today's topic of coal and petroleum. So there are several things which are made from nature, which are found in nature, and some are made by human efforts. So let us make a list of substances of natural and man-made. So you take a notebook and just make 2 different columns, and just you make some natural things and some man-made things. Now when you are studying this in classroom, might be your teacher is also discussing on the blackboard that just come up with some natural elements and some man-made things also we'll discuss. So this list, when it includes air, water, soil and minerals, and since all this is obtained from nature, and they are, what are they called? They are called natural resources. So what the things obtained from nature, they are called natural resources. So can we use all our natural resources forever? So is it like that throughout our lifetime, throughout generation after generation, this natural resources, they are forever, they'll not get exhausted or something like that? So let us see what are the types of natural resources. So can air, water, soil and other human other things, soil, be exhausted by human activities? Now you have already studied in class 7 that is water a limitless resource. Now you are seeing that in many places during summer season there is huge scarcity of water, because the ground level of water is going down. So as there is too much consumption by human, too much activities by human, and they are using too much water for their daily activities due to human population explosion also, and due to less rain also, the ground level of water has come down. So though it is a natural resource, we are facing difficulties to find this natural resource. So in the light of availability of various resources in nature, the natural resources can be broadly classified into 2 kinds. One is inexhaustible natural resource, and the next one is exhaustible natural resource. So inexhaustible natural resources, that is unlimited in quantity and are not likely to be exhausted by human activities such as sunlight and air. And exhaustible resources, that is these resources in nature they are very much limited and they can be exhausted by human activities. Examples like wildlife, forests, minerals, coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. Right. So now you can do a group activity, taking your few friends and all. What you can do, you can take some containers, you can fill them with popcorn, peanuts or roasted grams and toffees. You can divide that into 7 like group of 7 each, and further divide each group into 3 subgroups containing 1, 2, 3, 4 students. So you can label them as first, second and third generation respectively, as you are dividing that peanuts, popcorns and all after generation after generation. So what you are doing, that is these subgroups represent the consumers, and as the population is growing, the second and the third generations have larger number of consumers, right? So they are having larger number of consumers. Now, you can put one full container for each group on a table. You can ask the consumers of first generation from each group to consume eatables from one container. Now we are asking the second generation from each group to eat the same. Now, when we are asking the same group, that is the third generation, to consume it, we can finally observe that whether the third generation consumers are having any eatables or not. So, we are going to observe that after consumption of the first generation, second generation, whether some food is left for the third generation or not. So, we are assuming that eatables in the container represent the total availability of the exhaustible natural resource like coal, petroleum and natural gas. Now, each group may have different consumption pattern. Like suppose the A group is having a consumption pattern, whereas the B group is having a different consumption pattern. So, it may be that the earlier generations in some groups were concerned in and they use the sources in less amount, whereas the next generations are using them in larger amount, right? So some groups were concerned about their coming generation, while the some groups, they have consumed a lot, so nothing was left for the next generation. So what we are going to learn in this chapter, we are going to learn about some exhaustible natural resources, coal, petroleum and natural gas. So these were made or they were formed from the dead remains of living organisms, and so they are called fossil fuels. Okay, so these all are called fossil fuel. Coal, petroleum, so natural gas, they are all fossil fuels. So coal is one of the fuels which is used to cook food. Earlier we can say that this coal earlier it was used to for railway engines to produce steam to run engine and all. So it was used to it is also used in the thermal power and thermal power plants to produce electricity. Okay. So coal, it is a fuel for various industries, right? It is a fuel for various. So let us start with the story of coal. So where do we get coal from and how it is formed? So about 300 million years ago, the earth had dense forests and low-lying wetland areas. So due to the natural processes like flooding and all, these forests, they got buried under the soil. And as more soil got deposited over them years after years after years, so they got compressed and the temperature that rose and they sank deeper and deeper. Now what happened? Under high pressure and high temperature, dead plants got slowly converted to coal, and as coal contains mainly carbon, the slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. So what is carbonization? The slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. So if your question comes that what is carbonization, you will write this: the slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. So since it was formed from the remains of the vegetation, coal is also called a fossil fuel. So the coal mine, we will see here, it's shown in this diagram. So this is a coal mine from where the coal is being extracted. So it's there are people who are going down the mine and they are extracting coal. It's a very difficult process. So coal miners have to go down, they have to break coal from that mine and they have to take it up. So it's a very difficult process. Now when heated in air, the coal burns and produces mainly carbon dioxide gas. Now, coal is processed in the industry to get some useful products such as coke, coal tar and coal gas. So, this in the next slide we will discuss about the different products which we are getting from coal. Is it clear? So, let us move on to the next topic. Now, what are the different types of coal? The different types of coal, here we can say that peat, lignite, bituminous and anthracite are different types of coal. Now, first one is peat. Peat is dark brown in color. You can see it is looking like soil and it is formed from died and buried plants. And it is mainly used as an industrial fuel and it is having a very less carbon content. So, the carbon content here we can say it's least. Now next comes lignite. It is also known as brown coal. It is, you can see it is having a brownish color. It contains 60% of carbon
and it is very soft and has a least heating value, and it can be used for power generation. Now next comes bituminous. This one is bituminous. It is called black lignite. So bituminous is called black lignite, and you can say that it contains about 70 to 80% of carbon, and it is used to manufacture generate power, and it used to manufacture fuels such as coke and coal tar. Now next to which comes the anthracite. So this anthracite, this is the hardest coal, and this has a maximum energy content, and it contains more than 86% of carbon, and hence it is the highest ranked coal. It burns with more heat and gives less duct and soot, and it is mainly used in heating and as a fuel for steam engines and furnaces. So this is the main this is a very important and the hardest coal which is having the maximum energy content, and it is used in steam engines and furnaces, and it is having a highest rank in coal. Of this four coal types, this anthracite is having the highest rank. So these are the types of coal we should know, and next we should move on to the destructive distillation of coal. Let us move on to that one.
So what is destructive distillation of coal? In this diagram we can see that destructive distillation, it is a process where something is heated. So what is being heated? So Bunsen burner is being used, and it is a heating of a complex substance that is coal, and it is in limited supply of air so that it breaks down to form simpler substance. So you can see it is being heated, it is passing through a boiling tube, and we can say that the coal is heat in this process. The coal is being heated at 1000 sorry, it is heated at 1000 degrees centigrade, and in absence of air, to obtain some useful components such as we can see that coal gas and coal tar, water, and all which are found through this process of destructive distillation. So what is coke? Coke is actually, it is a black solid substance which is left behind as the residue. So it is left behind as a residue after the destructive distillation of coal, and it is almost a pure form of carbon containing 90% of carbon. So we can say that carbon plus water, we can say that carbon plus water, it leads to carbon dioxide and hydrogen, right? So, and what is coal tar? It is the coal tar is actually, it is a thick black liquid after which is having it is a thick black liquid. It is having an unpleasant smell. It is a complex organic compound, and that can be converted into simpler compounds for further use. What is coal gas? This, from this tube, the coal gas, the gas which is emitted out, it is coal gas. It is combustible in nature, and it is a mixture of hydrogen, methane, carbon monoxide, and other gases. It was earlier used as a domestic lighting fuel before natural gas came into use, and it is presently used as a fuel in some industries located near the coal processing plants. And last but not the least, we get the ammoniacal liquor. So ammoniacal liquor is ammonia, which is what this is the ammoniacal liquor. So this, what is this? This is actually the ammonia produced in this process, which is getting dissolved in water and in the form of ammonium hydroxide solution. So ammonia, when get dissolves in water in the form of ammonium hydroxide solution, is called the ammoniacal liquor. So ammonia, we can say that ammonia with, when it combines in the process, it gets dissolved in water, and it is forming ammonium hydroxide, and thus that is also called ammoniacal liquor. So this is called ammoniacal liquor. So these are the four things which are prepared after destructive distillation of coal. So first is coke, next is the coal gas, then comes the coal tar, and last but not the least is the ammoniacal liquor. So these are the four things which we are getting after the destructive distillation of coal. So let us move on to the next one. Now just now we have discussed about the products of the coal. So some useful products we have discussed. Now coke, coal tar, coal gas, and also let us just give a quick look on that. What is coke? So coke, it is a tough porous black substance. It is almost pure form of carbon. Coke is used in the manufacture of steel and in the extraction of metals. Okay. Next comes coal tar. It is black. It is a thick liquid with an unpleasant smell. It is a mixture of about 200 substances. Products obtained from coal tar are used in starting materials for the manufacturing of various substances in industry like synthetics, drugs, explosives, perfumes, plastics, paints, photographic materials, routing materials, etc. Now, interestingly, we can say that naphthalene balls are used to repel the moth and other insects are obtained from coal tar. Okay, is it clear? Now, nowadays we have said, we have told that bituminous coal, right? These days, bitumen, a petroleum product, is used in place of coal tar for metalling of the roads also. Now, coal gas is obtained during the processing of coal to get coke, and it is used as a fuel in many industries situated near the coal processing plants. Okay, now we will move on to the petroleum in the next slide. Okay, is it clear? Now, here we are going to give a bit description of petroleum, but in petroleum in details we will move on to the next episode, because as it has been so long topic and it will be very tenuous for you to learn so much in one day. So petroleum, refining of petroleum and all, we will put in the next video. So today we will do a bit of petroleum introduction. So we know that what is petroleum. Petroleum is actually, it is a we can say that it is a fuel which is used in automobiles, and also it is used in light automobiles such as motorcycles, scooters and cars. Heavy motor vehicles, they are running in heavy motor vehicles, they run in diesel, and petrol tractors and all, they are running in diesel. So petrol and diesel are obtained from a natural resource called petroleum only. So the word petroleum is coming from petra, which means rock, and oleum, which means oil, as it is mined from different rocks under the earth. And that process and all we will be studying in details in the next episode. So for that you need to stay tuned and subscribe to my channel. If you are liking my channel, if you are liking my pattern of teaching, you should stay tuned with all my lessons which I am posting, and please share it with your friends if you are liking my lesson, and don't forget to like and comment in my comment box if you are liking my channel. So this petroleum full part we will be discussing in the next video, because as it has already become a lengthy video. So petroleum is formed from the organisms living in the sea. As these organisms died, their bodies settled down at the bottom of the sea and they got covered with layers of sand and clay. Over millions of years, in absence of air, high temperature and high pressure transformed the dead organisms into petroleum and natural gas. So the world's first petroleum oil was drilled in Pennsylvania in the year 1859. 8 years later, in 1867, it was found in Makum in Assam. In India, oil is found in Assam, Gujarat, Mumbai High, and in the river basins of Godavari and Krishna. So this is all for today's episode. In the next episode, we will be studying about the refining of petroleum. We will study more about the natural gases, about the fractional distillation of this, and we will study about petrochemicals and the conservation of fossil fuels and more. So please motivate me in making more content, more useful content for you all, so that I can make more and more content for you all. And please stay tuned, subscribe more and more to my channel, and don't forget to like and share my videos. Thank you.